Welcome to the Justin and Joe Debate Show, featuring your hosts, Justin Hooper and Joe Dyer. Gentlemen, today's topic, 2016 presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton. And go.
I don't know about you, Justin, but I don't feel she would be a good presidential candidate. I mean,
well, obviously, look at the fact that so far we've had two male presidents, and maybe it's time for a change.
but women are not take charge kinds of people, Justin.
Yeah, but during Bill's election or his when he was running the country, Hillary practically ran it.
That's because he cheated on her, and she's an ugly piece of.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with this. You don't think she'll be a good candidate?
You ever seen Hillary, Justin?
Yes, I have. I wouldn't her.
She's a butch. Justin.
Good.
She would not be good at running.
How do you know?
Because women aren't good at running anything.
How do you know? Look at
seen...
George Bush. He ran 3 companies in the ground. That's the kind of president you wanted?
Women are not take charge kinds of people.
Yes,
Justin.
but she obviously was...
They're willing to sit there and let the man do all the work.
Look, I think she could run the country. Maybe we should give her a shot.
Ground even more. She give all these women passes, Justin.
How do we know all this is going to happen? She hasn't been anything. So you would rather have Donald Trump a businessman?
Oh yeah,
he
knows how to run a business.
That doesn't mean anything. If you run,
he knows how to make money, though.
Government is but that's not about what the government needs to be making money. They need to be supporting their country.
Why does the government not need to be making money?
They need to make money, but they don't. They need to do it not in the way that Donald Trump would want to do it.
He would make our country a whole lot better, Justin.
Well, maybe he would. We don't know that.
Hard work if you work hard, you get money.
What?
And women do not like to work hard, Justin.
How do you know?
They like to let other people work hard.
Yeah, because where you work at, they are lazy. Where I work at, they are hard workers.
Most women are lazy, Justin.
Not all women.
They are.
No, they're not.
Oh, yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Give me an example, you lazy.
Most women I work with, some of them are selectors, and trust me, that's a lot of hard work.
You know what they do, Justin?
2 of them that are hard workers.
You know what they do?
What?
They pretend to flirt with the guy to get him
How often do maybe they flirt with you, but they ain't get much if they flirt with you.
Nobody flirts with me there because they're a bunch of old but besides the point.
What, Granny doesn't want to get in your panties?
No, she don't because she's older than a bag of chips on the floor. But besides the
point. Older? What do you mean a bag of chips? What does that even mean?
Like to get the guy to do all the heavy lifting for
No,
them.
not the women I see working there. They do all the heavy lifting.
You just don't see it, Justin.
I do see that.
You don't observe it on a daily basis.
Actually, because being in my position as a janitor, I get to see what all goes on in there.
So you clean up their period blood stains
Actually,
on the floor,
I don't.
Justin?
No, I do not.
You go in the bathroom and clean up their
this coming from a man that didn't put a trash can in his bathroom and then to the woman about the fact that she left her tampon in her kitchen.
First of all, I didn't to her about it.
But you're complaining about it.
Yes, because why would I want a tampon in the
then
garbage
next
can?
Time you put a garbage
in my
can
kitchen,
then the bathroom next time, so they won't do that. Or tell them to toss it in the toilet.
For a garbage can in my kitchen.
Most of the women I know toss it in the toilet.
Well, she could have put it in the toilet and we've been fine.
But then next time, make sure you inform the woman. Say, hey, make sure it goes in the toilet or the bathroom can. Now that you bought one, even though you already about not being in your.
Do you ever shut up, dumb?
Do you?
You know, it doesn't take much. I mean, you can throw it in there and it flush down the toilet.
I get that.
But that has nothing to do with how Hillary Clinton would be.
Actually, you make it.
She would make the country so much worse than it really is.
How do you know this?
Because women like a free ride. They like a free ticket.
Yeah, but she's not taking it as a free ride.
Have you ever seen them go to a bar? They get free drinks, you know?
Yeah, I know.
You've never gone to a bar.
Actually, I've been to bars, and they've never actually asked me to buy them drinks.
That's because you're ugly, and they won't want a free drink from you.
Well, how do you know that?
You just said they wouldn't ask a free drink from you.
They just wouldn't, but doesn't mean I would give them one.
Well, that's good. If you would not give them a free drink, that shows that you
Nothing in life is free.
Exactly. And Hillary Clinton would be a bad
Just have to wait until sees 2016 and see what happens.
She would be
Well, he can't be doing any better than Obama's been doing lately, apparently.
Oh,
And
it'd be
he's
so
a
much
guy.
worse.
Ugh.
He sucks so bad. He really secretly has a vagina down there.
Well, apparently, yes, he does.
He's an African American.
But how do you explain George Bush?
I don't know if I don't know if he was as bad as everybody thinks he was.
He did pretty.
Yeah, but everybody's been in there. I think Donald Trump would really.
So you're saying Donald Trump's going to do better than everybody else?
Exactly.
But he is a businessman like George Bush was. And George Bush failed 3 companies.
George Bush doesn't really own like a lot of companies like Donald Trump does.
But we don't know how he's going to do. He could do just
you
as
don't
shitty
know how
as Hillary
anyone's going to
Clinton.
do, you piece of crap. You don't know how anybody's going to do.
Then we
but
just wait and see.
You just look at past behavior, and I think Donald.
So
Donald
wait, you're
Trump,
saying okay, past behavior? What are you saying that every president gets together? Hey, let me do as as you did this time, so everybody will think I'm a piece of crap.
You sound. It's a bunch of gibberish coming through your mouth, Justin.
And every gibberish is coming through your mouth too. You make no sense. How do you know a woman can't run this country? Maybe
Because
that's what we
women
need.
cannot even raise a child by themselves.
There are some women that have been.
They're not very successful at it.
How do
Justin.
you know?
You need
You're basing that off of what? One person?
everything. You need
Everything.
2 people to make a family.
Not
unit.
necessarily.
Yes,
There are
you do.
some women out there that have successfully raised 2 or 3 kids on their own. You don't know that.
You need a man and a woman to
My
raise
mom-
a successful child.
My mom raised me and my little sister by herself.
Are you self-sufficient, Justin?
Yes.
No, you aren't.
How do you know?
You live with your grandparents.
So,
And
they don't pay for
in
anything
in
I
the
can do.
attic.
Doesn't matter. I don't live in the attic. Why do you? What does that have to do with anything? Look, I don't live in the attic.
Has
Trust me.
everything to do with
Everything that I do, I pay all my bills on my own without any reliance on them. Nobody pay my bills.
The world isn't forgiving.
I
It
know
doesn't
it's
give
not.
you a trophy for just trying.
Never said it does.
But people get a trophy for trying.
Well, you know that's
and
some
that's
people.
not how it works.
Well, obviously it's not.
No. And that's why I think Hillary Clinton would be a bad presidential
So,
candidate.
we're
She
gonna.
wants a f***ing trophy.
She wants a trophy for
Women,
participating.
by their very gender, they want a f***ing trophy.
Well, what happens if they don't get a trophy?
Then they whine about it and they become social justice warriors.
Okay, well there you go.
Persecution on me because I'm a female. But you know, if you have the golden vagina card, you can get anything, Justin. If you're an attractive female, you don't even have to
I don't
try.
give attractive females everything. Trust me, and I've been pursued
You
by
would
many.
if they came on to you. They
No,
would
I
give you, and you would give them everything.
No, I wouldn't.
Because that's what they do. They
See,
use
I'm like you. I think with this brain, not this brain.
Bull-
I'm very low. Trust me, when it comes to women,
I
I'm
haven't
very smart,
sacrificed any money for an attractive female.
and I've not either.
I was actually dating a decent looking female, but you know, that's the problem with women today too. They're so f***ed up. They've been riding the carousel for so long, they don't know how to properly bond with a male. They've been opening their vagina for any that comes along, and they don't.
What's
know
this have to do with Hillary Clinton?
everything.
You think Hillary
because
Clinton's just going to open up her vagina to everyone that comes to her?
She already has, and she's old now, and she can't do that anymore. And she's pissed off about that because
What? Because she can't have sex anymore?
her looks have deteriorated, Justin. You see, once you pass a certain point, you can't use your vagina to get what you want anymore.
Maybe she plans
Because
to.
you're old and you're not as attractive as you used to be.
So you say she's going to use the fact that she can't use her vagina against everybody.
Exactly. She's pissed off that she can't use her vagina anymore. You see, that's why Bill Clinton cheated on her, because she was ugly and old, and he got another young piece of ass on the side. Because she
So he's basically every guy out there that gets sick of the woman that they're with.
not every guy, but
There are
you
some
know,
guys out there that done it.
But Hillary Clinton, like, she probably was like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I'm too tired.
Well, how do
to
you
have
know?
sex today,
Maybe he
Bill."
was getting old and crinkly.
No, men can have sex well into their 70s.
And you would know this how?
Because I've read about it.
And you've
Yeah.
actually witnessed this?
A man is fertile for a much longer time than a female.
Why does that matter?
Once she goes through menopause, because that's the purpose of it.
So you're
purpose
saying
of-
that at 70 years old, you're still going to be...
You could be. The purpose of sex is reproduction, Justin.
Yeah, but how do you know your
Here's
little
to
swimmers
further
are even
along
going
in
to
the
go...
species.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry we are out of time. That concludes today's topic. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yorkies!